Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mini Ninjas chiming in. First of all, I want to wish everyone a nice, happy Victoria Day weekend there. And I'll also be using this with a bit of a background thing from some Mega Man 3 recordings that I did just for kind of shits and giggles, for lack of a better term. Did just kind of chime in where I've been for the past little bit, since I haven't exactly been updating too much. First off, yes, the next couple of Retro Ninja Gamings, which are part of the Mike Hager Run series, will be coming out shortly. The next one probably is going to be starting off with one of the versions of Final Fight for the Super Nintendo boards. Of course, still kind of deciding which of the ones I want to tackle, being either the default one or Final Fight Guy. Although honestly, it doesn't make too much of a difference because I'm going to be picking Hager anyway, who is neutral in both. And let's see. Another thing that's going on a little bit is I'll probably be doing a short bit of videos and just general updates from an event that's going to be going on this weekend at Greater Toronto Area, being the 2014 edition of Anime North. As for what prep for Anime North usually entails, it honestly, for anyone who's getting kind of custom work, it's kind of last minute additions and attempting to fix things, namely I'm currently fixing the spear that I use for both the classic Scorpion and Reptile suits, as well as one other little addition that's based off an Easter egg from, I believe, MK Deception, that I'll let the picture speak for itself once that thing comes available. Everything goes to plan. In terms of other little video projects that are going on, I'm not sure if it's going to be either today or tomorrow, but the next episode of Action Movie Show should be recorded shortly, depending mostly on the availability of Carlos, the other host of the program there. And this particular week's episode will be Face Off, starring John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, who act as themselves, and then act as the other people, only they act as themselves later. And let's be honest, if you're really watching this film, you're probably watching it for the absurd facial reactions of Nicolas Cage, because there are many and plentiful. Now, on the last note that I can immediately think of as at the time of this recording, I'm currently also testing out and kind of trying to learn my way through a few other titles which I haven't brought up to this point. Mostly because I feel that the first ANC stream that I participated in with the Robocop thing, I think that went pretty well. Speaking of which, I'll need to add a link to the YouTube link that was uploaded not too long ago, I think earlier last week, after the initial recording itself. And that'll be going up and being mentioned probably in the notes for this particular video here. But looking at how much fun I generally had there, I probably want to do something there, but only with me probably mainly playing a different title there. I do have one thing in mind, but I do need to get a bit more practice on it, because I basically just picked up the game not too long ago, realistically last week. And I figure, as fun as it would be to play it randomly and completely out of the blue, I don't want to completely suck on camera. So we're going to be working on that for the next little bit. Anyway, now stepping on to why I'm showing Mega Man 3 footage here. This itself also came out of one of the live stream events that was done over at ANC World, where you had a couple of people basically playing Mega Man 3 a bit blind. A couple of the people there, after a bit more practice, clearly knew that they had a general idea of what they were doing there, but were just out of practice. And to be honest, after seeing the footage there, it kind of spurred me to at least, let's take a look back. I haven't honestly played this particular title of the series for a while. After you play a game for death for a while, it's like you want a break. So realistically, I hadn't played this one in, I think, a good 2 years plus. So this is just a general idea of how some of these bosses are supposed to be faced off. In the case of something like Snake Man and Gemini Man, they have clearly defined patterns which are easy to navigate around. Especially Gemini Man's case, every second shot, give or take, or every second part of the loop at the very first part of the fight, you can safely shoot the Gemini clone, because that is in fact a clone, and he won't shoot back. And as long as you keep the pattern safe, you'll be good here. This is something I actually learned, I believe, from a Rome Mithero video here on YouTube. If you happen to know that user, I'll link him later on as well. Although probably you'll know this from him first. Hardman himself doesn't exactly have a hard pattern per se. It's really straightforward, but just because of the use of the hands, or hard knuckles really, it's really irritating to fight him in the middle of the space here. So what you really want to do is lure him to the edges where his hard knuckle shots will harmlessly go off screen and not try to come back and aim itself and redirect themselves your way. Couldn't I do this realistically Buster only? Yes, it's just longer and tedious. And that was a weird stop in midair with the jump there. For the most part, most of the bosses in this game can easily be taken care of with a Buster only. But we're about to show the one exception. Shadow Man. Honestly, the most frustrating boss in the game, period. Especially to take out Buster only. You wanna know why, ladies and gentlemen? Aside from the 3 hops, or technically 2 hops at the very start of the match, there is honestly no rhyme or reason as to how Shadow Man works. If you happen to be trying to watch his jumps to see if he jumps high or low, will that determine when he comes out next? Surprise, surprise. First of all, his hops are entirely random. Second of all, it's literally a 50-50 call as to whether he's going to throw those 2 Shadow Blades or slide at you. A slide which is honestly basically comes out, I think, basically at the tick of when he lands. While on the other hand, the Shadow Blade has a slight delay that if you're trying to jump over a slide, you're gonna... Not to mention if you happen to be trying to dodge his Shadow Blades at point blank range, you can't, I think. You can't actually avoid them by jumping at all. You'll get hit no matter what. Top it all off, each of your Buster shots only does 1 damage at a time. So all in all, unless you want to show off, use a special weapon. Well, that's all my time for this particular video. Thanks for watching, and see you again on the next Retro Ninja Gaming very shortly, I hope.